So the... Okay, what's up everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my March wrap-up video. It's a little late, but I figured better late than never. I really have no excuse for this video being that late. I don't know, I just did not film it before, so I'm just, here we are April 10 today, and I'm filming my March wrap-up video. It's fine, it's fine. In the month of March, I ended up reading 12 books, but if you guys saw my TBR video, then you'll know I failed my official TBR because I ended up having COVID in the middle of the month of March, which, even though my symptoms really weren't that bad, I was just really tired and not in the mood for high fantasy books. And a lot of the books on my TBR were fantasy, so I just did not end up reading those books. I just ended up reading a bunch of other books, which is all good. I had a pretty good month. None of them were outstanding. None of them were like new favorite books, but all of them were pretty good. I have mostly 4 stars on here, so without further ado, let's get started. So the first few books, I'm gonna go over them pretty quickly because they were all in my Koreadathon Readathon reading vlog. So if you guys want more information on this book, I will link it up above somewhere so you guys can go check out my full review on them. The first one is going to be Emergency Contact by Marie H.K. Choi. Like I said, I picked this one up because of the Koreadathon Readathon, and so I picked this book up because I did read what is it called? I did read Permanent Record from her a few years ago now, and I really enjoyed that book. It wasn't the best book out there, but I thought it was pretty good, and so I wanted to see something else from her. I wanted to try some other books from her, so I picked this one up. And honestly, this book is I have mixed feelings about this book. Basically, this book is about a girl named Penny, and she moves to school to start college, and there she meets this guy named Sam, and by circumstances they end up being their emergency contact, and they start this relationship, this texting relationship, and they fall in love. It's the romance. And I like the romance aspect of the book. I thought they were really cute together. I understand them falling in love. I saw them falling in love. I thought they were really cute together. I loved their relationship. But Penny, as much as I related to her on so many levels, she was such an annoying character. She was really triggering almost for me. At several points in the book, she got really mad about people stereotyping her, having prejudice against her, being racist basically towards her, but she literally did the exact same thing to a lot of other characters. She is kind of a mean, judgmental person. She has a lot of prejudice. I hated the way she treated her mother in this book. I mean, I totally get it. Her mom isn't the best mom out there, but she really wasn't a mean, bad character. She was just a clueless mom in my opinion, and Penny was just so mean towards her. I just did not like it, especially when you compare her life with Sam's life. Sam's life was, he went through stuff. He really went through some hardship, and he had things to overcome. He overcame things in his life, and when you compare those two characters and what they've gone through, it's just really hard to feel anything for Penny. I really liked Sam's character. Like I said, I thought I related to him a lot more. I think he went through a lot more, and so I really like his character. But Penny was just, at the end she does get a little redemption. It was kind of too little too late for me, so I ended up giving this 3 stars. I don't think I'm going to continue on with this author, especially if it's YA contemporary. I just don't think this author does it for me, but I know a lot of people love this book, so maybe I am in the minority, and if you guys want to give it a try, give it a try. The next book that I read for that readathon was Grass by Keum Gendry-Kim. I'm really sorry, but this is a graphic novel. I said in that vlog that it kind of is feels like a historical fiction, but actually this is a non-fiction, so that's why I felt so close to the original storyline. This is basically, you are following this girl who was a comfort woman during the war between Japan and Korea, and comfort woman is the translation to basically prostitute, but in reality they were sex slave. they've gone through horrible things, and we're following this woman who in the beginning of the book becomes a comfort woman, and then we follow her through that, and then she gets out of it, and we follow her through her life after that. And this book was just so freaking sad. I did not rate this book on Goodreads or in my video because it just felt so weird rating this book, because like I said, it's a non-fiction apparently, so it is a true story. The woman did exist. It's her life, and it feels so close to reality. I felt really wrong rating that book, but honestly it's an amazing book. If you guys are interested in it, I would highly recommend it. But it is so freaking sad. Everything is sad about this book. The woman described herself as a woman who has never known joy from the moment she got out of her mother's womb. So that kind of describes you the feel of this book. It's really good, guys, if you guys are interested in it. But it's just really sad. There's also a snippet in the books of the Korean history, which is really interesting. So like I said, I really enjoyed this one. I did not rate it, but I would highly recommend it if you guys are interested in it. And then the last book that I read for that readathon was Winter at Sokcho by Elisa Shua Dusapin. She's a French woman. I got it the French edition because it was originally published in French. This was the group book, so I picked it up, and honestly I really enjoyed that one. I know this one has gotten mixed feelings on the Discord group. A lot of people did not enjoy it, but I ended up loving this book. It's not for everyone. It's a very atmospheric book. This is about a woman who lives in this small town. It's a tourist town, so outside of the season it's a very dead town. One day there's this guy that comes in to the village outside of tourist season, and basically they kind of form this relationship, and she kind of shows him a little bit of the village and the life there. They kind of form this relationship, but this book, honestly, not a ton happens during this book. It's a very atmospheric book. It's a very, like, I would describe this book as like a cold autumn day. It rained in the morning, but now we're in the afternoon, so it's kind of a gloomy, cold autumn day. This is what this book feels like. I know it doesn't make any sense, but if you read this book, I promise you, if you read this book, I think you'll understand what I mean about it. I thought it was really good. Like a lot of people, I think the ending was kind of abrupt, and I wish we had a few more pages, but I still liked this one. I gave it 4 stars. I would recommend it. It's a really short read. It's a really interesting read, and the writing style was really interesting because as much as a slow-paced book this is, the writing style is so quick. You go through this super quickly because it's so like to the point, and like it's the opposite of flowery. It's super direct, and I really enjoyed this one. It made for a really interesting read. Those were the books that I read for the readathon. I ended up speaking 10 minutes about those books when I wanted to go through them super quickly, so let's move on already. Oh wait, I wanted to put them there. I forgot that I did that now. The next book that I want to talk to you guys about in no particular order is going to be My Not So Perfect Life by Sophie Kinsella. I ended up picking this book up as an audiobook because it was available at my library. I for sure thought that I had the end of that book a few years ago. Turns out I read this book like halfway through the book. I realized that I've already read it completely. But still, this is a really good book. It's a really cute book. It's Sophie Kinsella. I love that author. She's a really fun, beachy type of books. No, I do feel like this book is pretty different for her. This doesn't focus as much on the romance aspect, and it focuses a lot on the main character's coming of age type of story. It's about this girl named Katie, or Kate, and she works at a marketing company, I'm pretty sure. She's from the country, so she's not from London. She moved there for because she had like high hopes, and she had this image of her that she was going to live in London, live this really hype life, and it turns out obviously things are not exactly how she planned out to be. She works at this job that is not paid enough. She has this Instagram where she kind of, so funny, at one point she goes like on a walk, and then she takes a picture of a coffee to post it on Instagram, but it's not her coffee. It's just a coffee that she saw outside. So that kind of tells her how her mentality and how the book starts. And then one day so I don't want to give too much away. It is in the back, but I did not know it was coming, so I thought it was really interesting. It was kind of a mini plot twist. But like I said, it's basically a coming of age type of story her figuring out what she wants of life, where she wants to go, what job she wants to have, her life as an adult, and her career. And I really enjoyed this one. It was a really fun one, really fast-paced read, really cute. All of Sophie Kinsella, I would recommend the audiobook for them. They're amazing. 4 stars. I loved it. There's not too much to say about this one. I just really enjoyed this one. The next book that I picked up was It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. This one has been on my TBR for so long. This was so hyped last year when this first came out. Tessa Bailey is a romance author that I read a few books from her already and I really enjoyed them, so I've been wanting to pick this one up. I've seen some mixed feelings about this one, but I ended up really liking this one. It was just a really fun romance book, nothing too complicated, nothing too like intense about it. It was just really fun and funny and a fast-paced read. This is about a girl named Piper who is this really rich kid influencer who lives the life of the rich and famous basically, and then one day she gets herself in trouble and her stepfather is like, no more, I'm not supporting you anymore, you have to go and live in this like small town that is basically like they live of like crab fish, is that what it's called, crab fishing? So it's like a really small coastal town. It's really like the total opposite of her, and there she meets obviously this guy named Brendan and they fall in love. It's a really cute one. I was really nervous getting into it because I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about Piper being this really obnoxious brat person, but I ended up really liking Piper. I liked her growth in the book. There is much more to Piper than meets the eye. She is a much more sentimental person than what you first think of her. I thought it was really fun. I like the sister relationship in this book. I thought it was really well played. I love the romance aspect. True to Tessa Bailey, I do want to point out that this is the love interest in this book is a very like manly alpha male type of man in this book, so it's not for everyone. It is pretty steamy as well, so know that going into it, but I really liked it. If you liked the other books from Tessa Bailey, I think you'll enjoy this one. If you did not like the other Tessa Bailey book, I don't think you're gonna like this one. But I really liked it and I will definitely pick up the second one. The next book that I have to talk to you guys about is a reread, and it is The Viscount Who Love Me by Quinn. This is the second book in the Bridgerton series. I reread this one because I was preparing for the second season on Netflix, so I thought I would pick this one up as an audiobook, and I like this one a lot more the second time around that I read it. I don't know why. The first time I read it, Anthony kind of was really annoying for me. I just did not get it, but the second time around, I really enjoyed this one. It was really cute. This is Anthony's storyline, and he is getting ready to marry someone. He's getting ready to find a viscountess, but he knows deep down that he does not want a love like his parents had, and so basically he just had a checklist of what he wants her future wives to be, and then he has his eye on this girl. What is the sister's name? I forgot the sister's name, but anyway, he has his eye on this girl, but the only problem is Kate, her oldest sister. He has to go through her in order to marry her sister, but they fall in love. So it's Kate and Anthony's storyline. I really enjoyed that one. It was really cute, really fun. So this is kind of a enemies to lover almost, because she does not like him at first. I love the banter between them. I thought it was so fun. I love the sister relationship in this book as well. I love the stepmother relationship too, and obviously Newton. It was really cute. I like this one. I highly recommend the Bridgerton series overall. So the next 5 books that I have to talk to you guys about are all part of a series, and it is the MindFuck series by St. Abbey. I do have a reading vlog on them, so I will link it up above so you guys can go check it out if you want more of my thoughts on it. This one has been getting so much hype lately. I had to pick it up, and so I did like a 24-hour reading vlog with that one because I read the whole series in 24 hours. It's 5 books. The first 2 books were brutal. I did not like them. I could not understand why people were giving it 5 stars. The writing style was really bad. The romance was super insta-love. I did not like it. But book 3 comes around and things turn, and it was so good after that book. Basically, this is about a girl who is a serial killer. I don't remember her name. I'm sorry. I suck with name. But it's about this girl who is a serial killer, and basically she is killing off men that did her wrong in the past. And one day she meets this guy. I remember the guy's name, Logan, I'm pretty sure, and he's an FBI agent, and they kind of form this relationship. It's very insta-love. I will give that to you, but they fall in love, but he is actually hunting her. But there's so much more going on as well, especially after book 3. Things turn around. There's so many twists and turns that I did not see coming. everything was way more complex and way more interesting than when I first thought it was going to be. The last book, the last two books were really good. I really enjoyed that one. Like I said, go check out my reading vlog if you want more of my thoughts on it. But if you are interested in that series, push through the first two books. I will say the writing style doesn't really get better after, but the story, you really get invested in it and you really want to know what happens, and I was invested. I was hooked. So I just had to know what happened, and so I ended up giving the last two books like 4 stars. They were really good. And so the last book that I want to talk to you guys about is going to be Six Crimson Crane by Elizabeth Lim. I finally read this one, and this was so cute, guys. This was so adorable. This is a YA fantasy book, but honestly it reads like a middle grade. It's about this girl named Princess Shiori, and in the beginning of the book she is supposed to marry this guy, but she runs away, and then her stepmother kind of banishes her from the kingdom and turns all of her brother in crane, 6 crane, and every time she speaks a word, one of them dies, and basically it's her trying to break that curse. This was so cute, so adorable. It's a whimsical type of book. There is a little romance in this book, which I thought was really sweet as well. I mean, honestly, I don't have too much to say about this one. It was just really sweet and really cute, and I read it super quickly and adorable, and I will definitely pick up the second book. This is nothing new from Elizabeth Lim. So if you read Spin and Dawn and liked it, then I think you're gonna like this one. If you did not like Spin and Dawn, then I don't think you're gonna like this one. It's very typical of Elizabeth Lim, but it was really cute and it worked for me. So I'm really happy that I finally read this one. So yeah, guys, that's it. Those were all of the books that I read in the month of March. Have you read any of them? Let me know in the comments down below. I would love to know your thoughts on them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night depending on when you're watching this, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!